Hi everyone, this is just a review on what we're doing to practice note reading for accidentals and also thinking about whole steps and half steps using Musition. Okay, and the levels that we're focusing here are the note reading level 4, treble and bass clef with accidentals, and then also the intervals level 1. It says M2 M2 big M2 little M2, that stands for major second minor second identification. Okay, so for the note reading, let me just start and give you an example of what's going on. Okay, so you'll have some questions. Basically here, just want to review how you read the notes on the staff. Should be pretty straightforward. Notice that we now have different kinds of symbols here to the left of the note, and if you go through the textbook and the videos that are assigned for the textbook, you'll see that this is called sharp, right? And so we're just basically naming the note on the staff here, and then adding sharp to it. So this is an E on the bass clef, so this is an example of an E sharp. Here is another example. Okay, now this has a double flat, okay, and this is next to an F on the treble clef, so this is an F double flat. Right, so let me just go through a few of these. Okay, this is a D with a little X next to it. That's called a double sharp. So this is an example of a D double sharp. Now, here's another type of question that you might encounter, which asks you to enter a D double flat on a line of space. So basically, you're going to go over here to this palette and choose, the only note that's available, the whole note, and then you're going to choose one of these symbols. Okay, so a double flat is this guy. Right. So once you choose that, sort of your cursor is loaded with that note, and then now you're trying to find a D double flat. Okay, and you can use either a line or a space for this. So a D double flat for the bass clef is here. And that's how you do that. Okay. Again, A flat on a line or space. We can do that. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward with the note reading drill. The next thing I want to show you is if you go to intervals, I'd like you to practice level 1. Okay, so here are two new concepts, minor second and major second. For right now, please think about minor second as the same as a half step. A major second is the same as a whole step. We'll talk about intervals in a few weeks, but for now, for what we're doing in these exercises, and also as we prepare to learn about music for the major scale, think about minor second and major second in this way. Minor second is the same as a half step, and major second is the same as a whole step. So I have two notes here, okay? I have a C and a D flat. Notice that they're next to each other, okay? And I know that this flat, since the middle part of the B of the flat is lined up with the middle line here, the line 3, okay, with the note D, this flat is describing D, so this is D flat. Okay. C has no accidentals ascribed to it. So these two notes are C and D flat. The next thing you need to know is find C and D flat on the piano keyboard. Okay, and you can refer to the chart that's posted on the textbook as well. And you're trying to find whether that's a whole step or a half step. Okay, and if you go to the keyboard, you'll see that this is indeed a half step from C to D flat. So in this case, for the answer here is a minor second. Okay. Here are two notes, B and C. There are no accidentals. And again, you would go back to the keyboard and look at where they are on the keyboard and figure out whether they are next adjacent keys. Okay, basically the definition for a half step. And indeed, there are no black keys between B and C. So the distance, the interval between these two notes is a half step. In this case, minor second. Okay. Here's the same two notes, although one of them is now have a flat next to it. Okay, so the B now has a flat next to it. Notice again, I'm looking at the middle part of the B for the flat, and that is describing or affecting the note that is lined up with it. Okay, so in this case, this is B flat, not C flat. Okay, so B flat to C, if you find that on the keyboard, again, that would be two half steps. B flat to B natural is a half step, B natural to C is a half step, so B flat to C is a whole step. In this case, for this exercise, we're using major second. Okay, so this is a quick overview of how to complete these assignments on Musician.